What do you think about commuting and remote work? Is it better for people to not commute for the environment? What about the question of side trips, errands, leisure travel while people are working remotely? How does that balance out? So there's a recent study from the University of Pittsburgh, Baylor University, and Rowan University that merges commuting data with satellite-measured greenhouse gas emissions, and that offers clear insights on how workplace flexibility shapes entire metropolitan areas. So here's the thing. Emissions fell 17% globally in April 2020 from 2019 peaks. Fewer cars on the road drove sharp early pandemic emissions cuts. 35% of the workforce worked remotely during the peak. And there were, of course, concerns about, well, what happens over increased home energy use, errand trips, how does that impact things? So let's look at the satellite data. NASA and ESA satellites track real-time carbon and nitrogen dioxide levels. Flexible metros, according to this research, showed smaller pollution rebounds post-2020. In other words, the more remote work in a metro, the less pollution. So regardless of home energy use and side trips, overall, there was less pollution in more flexible metros. Nitrogen dioxide, which is especially a traffic-sensitive pollutant, clearly dropped more in remote regions, for example, showing that driving in particular is reduced despite the side trips, all those sort of stuff, in flexible metros. Satellite visuals also show cleaner air in more flexible downtown areas. The top 10 flexible metros also had twice the GDP growth of rigid ones. Cleaner air and less congestion improved quality of urban life for these metros. Environmental and sustainability goals, ESG, align with hybrid and remote work models. Flexible work helps reduce traffic without harming productivity. Businesses thus can meet sustainability and efficiency goals together. And policy design should shape the environmental impact. Fully remote setups, of course, are going to be best for eliminating most commuting emissions. Of course, you'll still have some occasional in something like a quarterly meeting or something like that, but most emissions. Hybrid work still reduces traffic, though less dramatically. Now, we talked about rebound work like personal travel, errands, potentially lessening the benefits, but that's not what the evidence shows. Overall, despite the increase in personal errands, the lack of commuting wins out for environmental benefits. Long-term satellite data show persistent gains for the environment in flexible areas. Return to office mandates thus risk undoing environmental gains. I hope you enjoyed this episode of the Wise Decision Maker Show. Please make sure to subscribe to the show and leave a review. It helps other people discover the show, and it helps us improve the show. And if you have any questions, email me at gleb, Gleb, at disasteravoidanceexperts.com.